Hey, how are you doing? Today we get to start a new letter that Paul wrote. It's what we have in our Bible, the book of Ephesians. And it's a power-packed 6-chapter letter that's written to the church. And we can see it, read through it, dissect it, and just look at what it means as a whole. And it is such a blessing to us as believers here 2,000 plus years later. So I just want to encourage you to get into Ephesians with us. Now, Paul says here, he's talking to a Gentile congregation primarily. That means people other than the Jewish nation. And he's writing of the Jews here, and he says in verse 12, concerning the Jews, which he was one of them, he says that they were to be the praise of God's glory. And so that was as they lived for God and proclaimed His goodness in the world. And now they got to share the good news of Jesus Christ, that God come to earth to rescue us from things that we can't rescue ourselves from evil and sin and just a depraved way of thinking. He saves us from that by faith in Him, by His death, resurrection from the cross. And so anyway, so we're to be, the Jews were to be the praise of His glory by spreading that news. And so as these Gentile or non-Jewish people were believing, Paul says, I want to pray for you. And he says, he starts his prayer, and in verses like 17 and 18, he says, he's praying that they may know Him, Jesus, God, better, that they would know the hope to which they have been called in Jesus Christ, to know that we could be known by God and to know Him. Something that is such a blessing that we can take for granted a long time, especially for a long-time believer. We should grow closer to Him and more thrilled, even happy, excited about knowing God. And we can only do that by spending time with Him. So I just encourage you, spend your time with God. Get into this book, get into the first chapter today, listen to it, read it, get into it. And I pray that God will continue as we spend time with Him, open our eyes, our hearts, our minds to be the praise of His glory. God bless you.